Hi everybody, it's Ginger from In Sheep's Clothing Yarn Shop here in Torrington, Connecticut. And I wanted to say it's another What's New Wednesday, but it's not. I am finally on my YouTube channel, and this is going to be my official first YouTube episode, so welcome. I don't know how often I'll be doing this. We'll see how this goes. But you can also find me on What's New Wednesday every Wednesday morning at 9:30 on Facebook Live. But I'm kind of planning on trying to kind of migrate over to YouTube, as I said, on a more regular basis and maybe less on, well, I'll probably still keep the Facebook Live, just keep it a little bit shorter and sweeter. Now, I had promised Facebook watchers that I was going to do a little show on the necessary knitting tools that you need to have at all times with you. And one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this is because when I do classes in the shop, I feel like everybody should have, when they bring their bag of the bag of knitting or their project or their materials for a class, the one thing that they should always bring besides knitting needles, and I'll get into that. I also hope that, I know there's probably going to be a lot of background noise. Hope it's not going to be too distracting because we have a snowy day today. I am kind of close to the door, but this happens to be a good lit spot, and if I need to change it, I will at some point, but we're going to try this today and see how it goes. So getting back to what I call your necessary bag, it can be any kind of little bag that you have, any kind of little, just this little zip bag that will have your most important tools. I will be putting a list in the information at the bottom of this. I'm not sure quite what they call it here on YouTube, but in your necessary bag, you should have, and I'm just going to go down the list of the following things. And this is absolute necessities, because I cannot tell you, and I say this with all the love in my heart, that when you come to a knitting class, especially you come to mine, you need to come prepared, becoming prepared. This is stuff that you should always be able to pick up the bag, throw it in your knitting project bag or whatever, and you have the absolute necessity of what you need. And I will also go into like more in depth, like what I carry in my knitting bag, because I really like to make sure I have every possible thing that I can ever need. So we'll just go down the list here. So one of the most important things is you need to have a tape measure. You need to have tapestry needles. And I like to have like a blunt tapestry needle. I also like to have a little bit finer weight one with a sharp tip on it. So if you at least have one tapestry needle, it could be one of those, I don't have one in this one, but one of the curved tip needles, that's good. You also need to have an assortment of stitch markers. And by that I mean, you know, not just like one or two. Have a bunch, because you never know how many that you might need. Sometimes you need markers when you think you don't even need them at all. But you should always have markers, like split markers, so that these are the kind, that you can add after the fact. Or you can also slip them onto your needle too. And then I also like to have just the regular ring markers. If you like fancy stitch markers, go for it. Have, you can have pretty stitch markers also, but just, you need to have them. And then different sizes, like you should have a few jumbo ones if you're having a bigger needle, and then an assortment of small ones. So that's up to you how many actual stitch holders that you have. I also, this is not terribly necessary, but I threw them in this kit, point protectors. Every once in a while I absolutely need to have a point protector to hold my stitches back. Let me put these all in here. Also, I like to keep in this packet here an extra little key. For those of you that have the interchangeable needles, there you go, the interchangeable needles, these are necessary. And I have a million of them just all over the place. But when you need one, that's when you can't find it. Another thing that works if you cannot find one of these is a T-pin. You can keep one of those in your little package too. So those are important. And then also you should have a crochet hook. And I would say, you know, just like a medium-sized crochet hook if you drop a stitch or you just need to grab a stitch. And that's where these little split markers come in handy, is if, say, you dropped a stitch and you're way up and you need to hold on to that stitch, you can put one of these on there, lock it in place, and deal with it later. So that's why those are handy. A cable needle. I like to, whatever type of cable needle you like to use. Personally, myself, and I know there's people out there that don't even use cable needles, but myself, I like to have, here's my crochet hook. You know what? I think I took it out of here. I tried to make a couple different bags. I'm sorry, snowplow is going by. Go through here. All right, but I like to use, maybe it's in this case here, I like to use a short double point needle when I'm doing a cable. And you can have an assortment of different sizes. It must be in yet another case. But what I usually would say is, like, have a medium-sized cable, short double point needle. They do make short straight double cable needles as well. But whatever is your choice of cable needle, you know, have one or two in your bag, depending on what size yarn that you like to use. Stitch marker is always a good thing to have. Another some marking pins, either for seaming. It's always good to have a few. You always need them when you don't think that you need them. Pair of scissors, absolutely important. Most of the time you can break your yarn, but there's times when you're working with cotton or linen that you will just rip your hand if you don't have scissors, so you need to have scissors. And also, this is really important, you need to have a needle check, so that you know if you have, you know, you don't know what size needle it is, you can find out. Also, paper and pencil. I know it sounds really simple, but that's really, really important to have. Paper and pencil. And then I also, oh, there's my cable needle. There we go. It's just an oddball double point needle, so just keep it in there. And then I also find that Post-its, I use these a lot, either when I'm following a pattern, and I'll use those. So I like to just keep a pack of those in with my things. And then a little hand lotion, because every once in a while our hands are so dry that we're sticking to our yarn. And absolutely, I have found every once in a great while, I don't need it very often, but a nail file. You get a rough nail, and that will drive you crazy until you can take care of it. So those are the minimal things that should be in your little bag. And if you have this bag always set, you can always, when you're taking off for a class or going away, you can always just grab it and know that you have all the necessary things that you need. And of course, it goes without saying, you need your knitting needles. So like myself, well, let me just go through. So those are the minimal ones. Then I also add like the things that I like to have, and depending on what kind of knitting you do, you can customize what you need to always have. So for myself, okay, so I said the multiple tapestry needles. Needle threader. Sometimes we need a needle threader. Also, I like to have, I don't know if it's in here. I know I grabbed a couple. All right, these are some extras that I have too. I also like barber cords, and these are those great little cords that you can try your sweater on or hold stitches. So these are great. I like to have a little package of those. I like to cut these, and I use them for my thumbs when I'm doing mitts. Highlighter tape for when you're following a graph is handy if you use it. Again, my scissors, and then I have in this packet, I have another key, and then some end stoppers. for my interchangeable needles. So those are extras. And then going even a little further, did I take it with me? Let me just see. Yet another case. I have so many cases. I have so many project bags, and I have a feeling a lot of you out there also have a lot of project bags. So as far as I'm concerned, each project bag needs to have its own little case. Otherwise you're borrowing a case. It can get crazy. I do a lot of hats, so I sew a lot of pom-poms on. You should have some thread. You should also have in your needle collection, I like to do this. I like to have my little chibi case that has my assortment of needles in it. I like to have a sewing needle in there. So dark, light thread, so you're good for whatever pom-pom you put on. So I like to have that because when I'm done with the hat, I want to feel like I'm totally finished with the project. Let's see, what else? Extra, well, this can go in. You can't have redundancies. I like to have some extra cords for my interchangeables, just in case. And another thing that I like to have, and then like in this bag, I would have an assortment of my short cable needles for cabling, different weight yarns. You don't want to use a skinny needle when you are working with a big bulky cable. You just doesn't work. So now this is one of my Della bags. This is the mesh bag, and what I love, everybody knows I love this, it has a giant outside pocket, and in that giant outside pocket, and this is my regular knitting bag, so I would put inside, I would have my double point needle case in here. I have my interchangeable needle set in here. I know it looks like I'm gonna travel all over the place. And then here's so those are my my needle supply, my supplies. Then I also like to keep my magnetic board. So if I'm following a chart, I have my board with me. Also, and this is something kind of new, is it's not an iPad, it is my tablet, because I have the Knit Companion on here, and I can follow my graph and my pattern on here. So that's kind of one of those things that's really necessary to have as well. So I keep that in the outside pocket, and you know, you do what works for you. But again, my pencil and paper in here, and so I feel that I have pretty much everything I need. I also use a lot of short, like the 9-10 inch straight needles, just because I like to work on those, not the long ones, but I like the short ones. So I will quite often have a little case of those needles in here as well. This bag also has its own little what's it have? Scissor case in here as well. So I just feel like I'm really well prepared when I have everything in this bag. Everything but my actual project is in this bag. But I love it. At least it starts out very lightweight, and then I get it all heavy. Now, as I was saying before, it's a snowy day outside, kind of nasty. I've only had like one person that came in today, which surprised me because I didn't even think I'd have that one person. I'm quite chilly in here, so I made sure that I have my nice warm Ito cable cowl on. I was just going, in case anybody was wondering what I was wearing, it is, you get this pattern, and it takes one ball of Ito, and you can choose whatever color you want, but this is the color that I'm actually using right now, that I'm wearing, color 3. Nice bright colors. 100% wool, just takes one of those, and it is nice and cozy, so I feel cozy right now. And you get, let me just see what this is called. They just call it cowl. But it's a very, very easy piece to do. So in case you're wondering, that's what it is. And then also I will put a link to my website down below. All my things I will put a link to. So anyway, getting back to the whole reason I'm even in the shop today is I was planning on kind of taking a snow day, but I knew I had gotten a notification that my delayed shipment of Della was scheduled to come today, and it did arrive just before I started doing this video. And I'm so excited because we have the new needle and hook case. I have the new midi backpack. What else do I have? Some new colors, some more of the mesh bags. I think I ordered all the colors in the mesh bags. Plus there's a new color that I happen to notice that I am absolutely crazy in love with. I was expecting it to be a blue. They said blue, but it's a blue gray, and it's stunning. I am going to be I'm leaving everything in the box today. I'm gonna go home, do some knitting, get my newsletter out, and yes, I will put up a link for my newsletter if you would like to get my newsletter. It comes out once a week, and look, I'm going to show you. I understand that this stuff makes a lot of noise. Here we go. But this is a beautiful gray. Look at that. So it's mesh. It's got the outside pocket. It has short handles, but it also comes, oh, look at that case. It has mesh on the front, canvas on the back, and it's a wax canvas. Like I said, it comes with a matching scissor case, and has a nice bottom on it, so it stays nice construction. And you also get a shoulder strap. I don't use a shoulder strap, but a lot of you do, so you've got that there, and you can clip it on or clip it off, whatever works for you. But I think this is such a great color. These are up on my website under the Della Q on the menu. So that's the gray. I'm not going to, I can do another show about the Della Q. I just kind of wanted to, in keeping with the knitting supply part of this, I wanted to show the needle case. So I won't get hung up on the other things. I will do a separate show about that. So I will show you the needle case, and I have not seen it yet. So we will be seeing this together. And they are heavy. It's very, very substantial. I did not realize it was going to be this heavy. So there must be a lot of stuff in there. I'm trying to get this open. There we go. Okay. Paper off. So I got in 3 colors. I went with the most popular colors that sell in the shop. And this is a new color that I decided to add this color. There's the teal. This was new this spring. So let's open it up and see what's in here. It's nice and big. Look how wide it is. So it has snaps. I'll open that up. And let's see what's inside. Okay, so your front, I want to say front page, but you've got scissors, needles, your necessaries, scissors, needles, tape measure, the pocket here, and then you've got, they're like pages, so it's like a loose leaf notebook. They're really substantial. So you've got the canvas backing, and then you've got what they call vegan leather. It's like a vinyl that you can put your needles in. And then here's another one for short needles. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, okay, you could put your circulars in here. They would go through here, and then the points would go through the elastic there. And from what I understand, you can get additional pages. They're not available yet, but they're coming. I think this is gonna do me pretty. Oh, this is nice. And then you get a nice little zip pack here. Good for maybe cords or odds and ends of things. And again, there's your pad of paper and pen. Oh, it's very nice. So I think, wow, this is great. You could really put a lot of stuff in here. And like I said, when the new pages come out, you could add to that. So you could put double points, your circulars, fixed circulars, your interchangeables in here. How nice. So as I said, we got the teal in. I ordered also, I guess I could show you the purple too. I ordered, well, they call it plum. I also got maroon. You can see the maroon in there. And let me see, the plum teal. It's probably at the very bottom. Oh, plum. Well, maybe I'll open this up. I already have a bunch of orders that I have to fill with these. But there's still left. I'll still have some extras. So, as I said, these are on the website, so you can take a look. I think a lot of these have already, some of the colors have already sold out, and they're on back order, so they'll be in at some point. Ooh, the plum is beautiful. I know I need one of these for myself. Oh, I love the plum. Look at the plum. Although, also, the red is what I should get to go in my bag. But look at that, isn't that pretty? I have so many plum lovers that they are just going to go crazy for this this needle case. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to show you. I love this. So you can carry it. It's got a handle. So you can carry it just like this. Or if you're like me that's starting to get a little arthritic in the thumbs, if you put it into, I know this sounds like a little thing, but if you slide this into your knitting bag, slide it in this way with the handle up so you have something to grab onto. I had something else that had a handle, and I kept putting it in a different way, and when I went to pick it up, the weight of what I was picking up, it's too heavy for my thumbs. But if you slide it in this way, so much easier. There you go. But such a pretty color. So anyway, so you got a nice little sneak peek of that, and I will be back again, and we will talk about the other Della Q. I want to show you so bad. I want to see so bad. All right, I'll tell you what we will do. Okay, you know what? I showed you one of the mesh bags. I have to show you the midi. I will show you a midi. I'll just open one. I will show you a midi backpack. Let's find one. Whichever one is on top. We'll grab. Let's see what color this is. Now, I don't know if you know about the backpack. I have several customers that have that, and it's so big and so generous. It's beautiful. Now, I don't carry a backpack myself, and I just feel like it's a little big. I was so tempted to get one, but this is the one that I think would be the one I would get because it's not so huge, but it's still very generous. And they come in these bags so that if you want to store them, you can store them later. Oh, there it is. Look at that. See, what I love about it is it has this handle because, like I said, I can't put things over my shoulders, and I'm definitely not a backpack person. But look at the looks of that. I love this handle. And so this opens up. It's got a snap. Look at all the pockets. And then it's got I love this. It has two holes, two spaces here that you can put water bottles in. And when you open it up, let's see what's inside. Snaps. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. It's so nice. There's so many pockets. I can't even, it's so dark in there. There's so many pockets in there. Pocket, pencils, and then there's a big zippered pocket in the back here. Also, there's a place here, a yarn cutter, so you can keep your yarn in there and you can cut it. So if you don't have your scissors, although you should. Oh, and then there's also this that you can put your yarn through, and it's just like a yarn guide. Keeps it from popping out of the bag. Oh, it's really nice. Really nice. So anyway, I have this in all the colors. So this is the olive. And I have the maroon. I have the plum. Actually tell you what I got. I had it here. Oh, no, I can't find the invoice. Let's see if I can just see what I have here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see what I did order. Okay, so I got red, purple, olive. Red, purple, olive. That's what I got. As I said, most The mesh I got mustard, olive, purple, red. There we go. Those were like the best selling colors. And then I also had that beautiful blue gray that I showed you. So yeah, those colors. Purple, I could not keep purple in stock here. It's such, because it's so pretty. So I can't wait. I can't wait to go through this. So so anyway, so I will download this tonight. I will try. I've never edited before with YouTube, so I will try my hand at that. We'll see what it's either going to be the way it is, or we'll do a little bit of editing. I would like to be able to. We'll see where it's going to be a learning thing for me. So anyway, I'll get that up, and if we'll see how long it takes, because the uploading or downloading process takes a while, and then who knows how long it's going to take me to do any editing, if I do, or I might just say the heck with the editing. But you can always join me on What's New Wednesday, every Wednesday at 9:30 on Facebook Live. And yeah, so anyway, so I have a lot of work to do, and I think it's so nasty. It's nasty out. It doesn't look like it's really doing much snowing out, but the roads look pretty slushy and crummy. They came by and they were doing some salting. So I think I will call it a day. I will go home and get started on that editing and see if I can get some knitting done as well. I have a newsletter to also put out tonight. So anyway, we will see. I don't even want to make a promise that I will be back in another week. Maybe I'll do it every 2 weeks. Let's see how it goes. But anyway, so I hope to see you very soon. And if I don't see you here, I will definitely be on Facebook, and I hope to see you there. So you have a great day, and stay warm. Bye-bye.